This is Sybert signing in to Red Alert 3, and as you can see, we are on Magmageddon, but this is a little bit different. It is not going to be a 3v3, however, it is going to be a 6-player FFA, and it is going to be mukusze, RageOfHeat, Jeromo, C9Q9MD, scubadiver, and zREthyA. Yeah, I don't really know how to pronounce a couple of these guys. However, as you can probably tell, it is going to be an Empire Mirror matchup, which means it will be tangos all day long, but it also means that we will be seeing a ton of action. As you can see, C9 is actually going for 4 refineries right out of the gate, so he's going for the long haul, while some of these other guys are going a little bit more standard. Most of them are probably going to be going for that 3 ref, because you need 3 refs in this sort of a situation to even have a chance of surviving. And as you can see, it does look like, also I'm probably going to be forgetting names a lot, RageOfHeat going for lots of tank busters, so he's looking to throw down some early damage, while mukusze, Mook is going to be going for a couple of Imperial Warriors just for the scout. As you can see, he's looking to secure an oil derrick, but he really wanted to get just a couple of scouting units out just to throw them down there and say, hey, is there anything actually coming my way? Magmageddon does go down for scubadiver, and it does look like all over here, a little bit of contention from zREthyA trying to get that oil derrick, although both of these players have claimed their own oil derricks, and it looks like that Jeromo won't actually be able to grab zREthyA's. However, 1-2 expansions have gone down, third one right there for RageOfHeat, while it does look like Mook has been going for 4 expansions. He's got all 4. Also, crates are turned on, which is an interesting thing. Crates I absolutely loved in Red Alert 2, and it does look like we are going to be, man, C9 is actually going a little bit crazy here. He's got 5 in total, so he's going to be sitting on the money like no other. The Tengus have popped out for scubadiver, and zREthyA going for 3, 4, and 5 himself as well. And it does look like Jeromo going to be going for, I believe, 4 only oil derrick, or nodes, not oil derricks. But actually, no, RageOfHeat expanding to the middle, and it looks like zREthyA tried to expand to the middle, but wasn't quite able to, while Yari Minisubs are over here. From scubadiver, he's going to be trying to do some damage to zREthyA. Might as well just kill the refinery, or scoot down here, take out the tech, take out the naval yard as well. And it looks like MCVs, what in the world is this? I'm guessing that these are, yeah, sudden transports, trying to distract the units from Muka has actually been defeated, so Rage almost, well, it's not team killing, but it is a little bit of a jerk move, sending in all of those tank busters. And actually, I didn't realize that those were all those sudden transports were actually RageOfHeat. So, wow, look at that. Somehow Mook has a lot of MCVs, and I don't think I've ever seen MCV or sudden transports be used like that. So Mook already out of the game almost immediately. RageOfHeat showing no mercy, but also showing that he is in it to win it. zREthyA going to be able to take down 2 Yari Minisubs from scubadiver. Scubadiver going to be retaliating with sudden transports, possibly filled with more tank busters in a similar style to RageOfHeat. RageOfHeat is absolutely going crazy. He gets the most entertaining MCV rush thing of the game, and as you can see, they didn't bother animating any of that stuff for the sudden transports, which is a little bit unfortunate. However, it's going to be lots of tank busters and a lot of tangus, and zREthyA could very well be going down. However, wow, with just a couple of chopper VXs, he was able to completely stop that attack. Wasn't able to completely defeat RageOfHeat, while C9 is just going to be chilling in his own base. And look at this, he's just packing up the tangus. Triple mech going down and just pumping out a ton of units. zREthyA will be eliminated from this game in just a few seconds. I can't imagine that he'll be surviving too much longer. He's going to be running out to the water. However, with scubadiver able to do quite a bit of damage, and just some infantry sitting out here for Jeromo. So Jeromo going to have to be holding off the heat from RageOfHeat, and he is the one with both the Nanoswarm Hive, and where's the Psionic Decimator? It is up here. So actually, that's actually in kind of a dangerous position considering how aggressive RageOfHeat has been throughout this, short beginning of the game. But immediately into the action, we do have health bars. Should have been on this entire time, but I do forget things sometimes. Surprise, surprise. However, it does look like I mean, I'm actually these sudden transports are tripping me out so much. Although those are a little bit janky looking for ore collectors. They just don't look quite right. Jeromo going to be trying to chase down zREthyA's Yari mini subs, which actually might stop to try and shoot that Nano Swarm Hive. And they do a couple of Sea Wings, which Sea Wings pretty darn good. Also pretty good as Sky Wings. But oh. Those are just power cores, the most dangerous power cores in the world, and Jeromo right now is a little bit unhappy because he's probably like, well, I guess I really don't want to win this after all. There's a million tank busters coming in his way, although with all of these Tengus, he might be able to lock this down. It is a lot of tank busters, but they are focusing down the refinery, which was a huge mistake, and with that honorable discharge, everything gets taken out. Jeromo going to be re-securing that expansion. While it does look like scubadiver going to be putting a little bit of heat on zREthyA and C9, I honestly do not know who's going to win this, but C9 is in the best position. Who usually wins FFAs? It's the guy that is allowed to sit back, macro up, and do basically nothing. I have no idea why zREthyA wasted that. He obviously wanted to kill that naval yard, but he wasn't actually able to do it. While the con yard for zREthyA is getting overwhelmed by scubadiver, we'll be able to take that down. It goes down right there, grants some veterancy. However, Shoguns are out, which is, of course, very great to see. And it looks like zREthyA going for kind of a last-ditch effort versus a Shogun and a bunch of Tengus. He's obviously not going to be able to do a whole lot, but he's trying desperately to kill that one single naval yard. He doesn't even get it. But yeah, C9, he's in an excellent position. Man, that is so many Tengus sitting right there. And battleships are out for Jeromo as well. RageOfHeat trying to probably still make this. No, he actually has sold off all of his barracks, so he's like, you know, the tank busters, they were a good idea, but they just didn't quite work out for me. Still triple pumping, or at least trying to triple pump those Tengus, and RageOfHeat is actually going to be in a great position. As you can see, he's expanded up north, and he's in an excellent position to basically take another, let's see here, 4, 5, maybe even 6 ore nodes, as he's basically going to be able to get a ridiculous amount of economy going. But no, not really, not with these Shoguns out of Jeromo, going to be rolling up on his base to spoil his day, while it does look like probably a couple of sudden transports, I'm guessing, that are going to be filled with tons of tank busters. They're going to be going for the refinery, and they will most likely get that refinery unless they all get run over by that single little ore collector, the most dangerous unit sometimes. And it looks like C9 with the bajillion Tengus, literally. Oh, that's why he had all of those walls there. I wasn't too sure, but that's almost like a hack. And it does look like, oh, the engagement for C9 is absolutely perfect. That is a concave that you do not see the likes of in many, many moons or days, depending on how you actually want to measure your days. Jeromo might be able to take out RageOfHeat's southern base. However, C9 is going to be able to completely clean up scubadiver. This has never have Tengus seemed quite so terrifying. And look at this, you could split that up into like 4 different giant groups of like a million Tengus each. Wasn't even able to, actually, we did take out 1 Tengu there. However, it does look like Yuriko is out, as well as Wave Force Artillery and King Oni. However, I think scubadiver is going to be pretty much kicked out of this game by C9. And I wish we had a chat log, because right now it looks like scubadiver would probably be like, yeah, you guys need to kind of focus on C9. He's kind of macroed up like crazy. And oh, losing so many Tengus to that honorable discharge. Look at that. zREthyA, no, was that zero? It looked like they might have been purple, but I guess it was actually going to be scubadiver's Tengus. Man, they just took out so many Tengus out of C9, and it looks like the Shogun's going to be rolling in from the side, trying to clean up the rest of RageOfHeat stuff, while Yuriko going to be cleaning up stuff from RageOfHeat, other infantry from RageOfHeat. RageOfHeat desperately trying to make something happen on the north side of the island, while over here, it looks like C9 is going to be constantly trying to reinforce with more and more Tengus. I cannot imagine trying to have to micro those Tengus. Okay, nobody's going to be microing those Tengus. And it looks like after losing one of those super weapons, RageOfHeat desperately does not want anything to go off. And why? Jeromo really needs to get that single chopper VX flying around and doing some damage, while over here RageOfHeat does get cleaned up, and it is looking like zREthyA is still in this game, so I was maybe a little bit wrong about that. Scubadiver going to do his best to eliminate zREthyA from that game, while on the north side, C9 doing his best to eliminate Scuba from the game, and Scuba's probably desperately saying, no, just let me attack zREthyA, trying to do a little bit of damage, and with a single Shogun battleship needs to back away from this Tengu if he can. because the Tengu actually will be giving chase, so never mind about backing up. However, oh, we missed it. Oh, that was absolutely awful. However, all of those Tengus from C9 that were right there did go down. Somehow, how did that oil derrick survive? I mean, really, how did the oil derrick survive? And it does look like the refinery for Jeromo is most likely going to be getting cleaned up there by scubadiver, but scubadiver has mostly been cleaned up himself. Trying to catch all this action is a little bit ridiculous, while the Tengu for zREthyA actually going to be doing a little bit of damage versus scubadiver. Scubadiver definitely desperately trying to get away from that Mecha Tengu, and actually I was like, what the heck, how did that Mecha Tengu do that? But scubadiver has been defeated. So Q9 in a pretty solid position. Jeromo also in a solid position. He has a huge tech advantage over some of these other players. I'm not entirely sure that C9 actually has any of the tech upgrades. No, he's just been pumping out Tengus this entire time, so he's only on that tier 1. Although he is going to be taking a little bit of damage from zREthyA. However, as we have seen in FFAs in the past, you can't just let people sit back, macro up, even if they are behind. RageOfHeat could end up winning this unless he's lost his MCV, which I guess he has. No, it's over here, going to be escaping. So you got it in every FFA ever. This is exactly what can happen. Is you get into this stalemate where there's a couple of powerful players and one player who's technically still in the game, but everyone thinks that they're out because they have basically nothing, and then they come back and own everyone. Okay, that doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. It's happened before. Which means if it's technically possible, then, I don't know, there's something that's going to be happening. However, C9 going for so many Tengus, and Tengus, they're good, but are they good enough to face the might and the power of Jeromo? Well, probably just in sheer numbers, although Jeromo, if he's got some moves like Scuba, then he may very well be able to cause huge amounts of damage to that army, and man, someone just screenshot this and then go back in time and give it to the EA or give it to the Red Alert 3 devs. Although they probably wouldn't want that. That just kind of says like, yeah, you only get to build one unit, but you get to make a lot of them. I mean, please, unit caps, really? That's silly. However, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Jeromo desperately trying to kill RageOfHeat. RageOfHeat desperately trying to run away. He can't even get an Imperial Docks down. I mean, tier 1 isn't even happening for RageOfHeat. He is most likely out of it, but hey, don't count him out until he's actually out. And then the only little chat log that we get is, hey, this player has left the game. Wow. It looks like zREthyA going to be selling off possibly everything. Yep, right there, zREthyA has been defeated as I butcher everyone's name with absolutely no remorse. And C9 has now come under fire by Jeromo. Jeromo going to be really the only power left in this game, although RageOfHeat does technically have an MCB. I'm not entirely sure that he actually has any units left, or any money left. Wait, units? Why would I be talking about units? I'm more effectively talking about actual buildings. C9 going to be transforming some of his Tengus, desperately trying to take them down, and bringing in the Chopper VXs is an excellent choice, but why are you not shooting Yuriko? She is going to be taking out so many of these units and needs to transform and take care of some of these units. C9 desperately trying to clean up the rest of this stuff from Jeromo so that he can possibly win this game, although Jeromo certainly isn't out of it yet, and as you can see, he's got a pretty solid spread as to how many bases he actually has. I don't even know if I can count that high. He's got that many bases. Okay, he has like 7 or 8. Someone can just pause it and take a look, although he's constantly expanding to more and more bases. And I don't know if I've actually seen anyone take any of the crates so far, although the crates might actually become kind of important because $1,000 once some of this ore has been used up can be pretty useful. And it looks like, I think that was RageOfHeat's MCV. I don't know who else's MCV. So RageOfHeat, I think he almost literally has nothing. If he has a wait a second, that's an oil derrick. No, wait, no, never mind. No, everyone call it off, RageOfHeat cannot win this game. I was hoping that we would just see mass ore collectors and then transformed over and somehow RageOfHeat would actually win the game. That would be absolutely phenomenal. However, RageOfHeat has been defeated. These guys just observing, they're seeing C9's ridiculous army and the tier 3 folks. Ooh, transforming, not a good plan. At least when the Tengus are in the air, you know that they can't actually attack anything on the ground, but when you transform, you're just going to get completely overwhelmed by his numbers, although he did bring along the Chopper VXs. So the best thing that you can do is try to force him into your engagement where your, King Oni can actually do some damage, and your units on the ground can do some damage, but he doesn't actually have enough stuff to make it happen. So this could be it for Jeromo, while it looks like C9 is actually going to be halting production, trying to focus his attention down here and clean up the rust of stuff for Jeromo. Although Jeromo may be just running his MCV, he's not even going to stop to get that money. Don't you know money's useful, son? Don't you know something like that? The super weapon will go down right in a few seconds. Right there, it does go down, which is unfortunate for Jeromo, but I think C9 actually has this locked up. And for being an FFA, I was scared every time I cast an FFA or I think about it. I'm like, but what if it goes on for like 40 years and you just end up with 2 people and they've got like 8 units each and nobody wants to make a move, and then you're sitting there for 47 minutes after it's already been 3 hours of gameplay and it's just 47 minutes of stalemate while neither player is actually doing anything. However, C9 should be able to clean this up. I say should be because he's in the best position. However, I want to say Jeromo's not out of it yet, but it's looking like Jeromo is out of it yet. I feel like that yet was kind of unnecessary, and lots of fully heroic chopper VXs, transforming at just the right time because in this crucial moment of the game, every unit is, of course, very, very important. It's not like you can simply mass spam more of these. However, a couple of C-Wings have gotten a couple of veteran C upgrades. Striker VXs moving across the map, and man, that is just so many out of C9, whose C9 is also going to be expanding quite a lot. He's going to be taking the water expansion and not even bothering to scout beforehand. And oh, Jeromo, you are my favorite. Maybe not my favorite in the world, but for doing the mass ore collector and trying to make it work, you are a little bit my favorite. And it does look like, no, just go mass base defense. Mass base defense for the win. Just spam out those base defenses. Win behind, mass base defense. It works better when you can say Dark Shrine, but hey, we don't talk about that here. A couple of C-Wings sending off. No, don't send your C-Wings off like that. You gotta provide a unified front. Don't you know anything, Jeromo? Sheesh. You could learn a... No one could learn anything from me. Anyways, it looks like C9 should be locking this up pretty darn quickly. Tons of Tengus all over the place. Is he actually going to bother, like, even getting tech out? It'd just be kind of hilarious if he just does, like, a total switch to just straight King Oni, although that'd be completely useless. Wait a second, does he? Yeah, he does have a Navy Yard, so potential. We have the potential for some Shoguns. I kind of want to do take a look at the economy of these players just to see what anyone actually has in their bank account. We're going to do it. C9's got 2.5k, Jeromo has 31. So Jeromo, stand on top of that macro. You got to hand it to him. He is spending all of his money as fast as he possibly can, and somehow these ore nodes aren't quite all used up. Even the ones in his main base, they're still not completely used, so this game being relatively quick. However, it does look like C9 is getting close to that depletion point, which I believe once you deplete, then you get 75 credits per load, which just is barely anything, compared to, I believe, 250 of a regular ore refinery when it's, well, a regular ore node when it's not depleted. And C9, please just finish this. Don't turn this into a stalemate, C9. It is your duty as something to finish this. However, C9 is not actually going to be saving this expansion. He's just going to be rerouting all of his troops over here, going to be joining up with a couple of Naginatana cruisers and a couple of Tengus who have been given the unfortunate order of just running around on the ground while all their friends are flying. And these are like the cool Tengus who have all of the heroic upgrades, and they're known as heroes from the people, and all the people praise them, while these guys are just on the ground running around with their little jet boots. And Jeromo, I don't know how intentional that was, but it just looks like he's like, all right guys, we're outnumbered, but we're gonna form our last line of defense versus hopeless odds. It's almost like the 300, although I feel like this is gonna be way less effective at doing anything. Even though the movie was, I'm guessing, some sort of dramatization. Either that or somehow Shane Black just like went back in time and was like, yeah, we're gonna just film this battle back in time. It'll be great. Dropping down 5 tank busters. As you can see, this is a brilliant tactical, let's use right words this time, tactical move out of Jeromo. He's going to be going for those 5 tank busters, which is, of course, going to be allowing him to save the game. Although if he's able to run all the way across the map and somehow do something to this base, I will laugh a laugh of laughs. I don't know what that means, but I'll laugh because it'll be hilarious. A couple of C-Wings desperately trying to mount a defense versus all of these chopper VXs, but it's simply not worth it. No, lads, all is lost. Even if you have a dozen Shogun battleships, it would not be enough. And as the number of ore nodes that are under the control of Jeromo dwindles further, and the number of ore nodes under the control of C9 increases even more, we will be seeing, I'm assuming C9 is going to clean this game out in just a moment. He's even going to be getting his own super weapon because he was tired of the, no, C9, don't do this to me. He's going to he's just going to chill because he wants to fire a super weapon. I'm almost certain that's what he's going to do. I don't know for certain, but I feel like that's actually what he's going to do. He's just going to time it out. And no, Jeromo is like, hey, you know what I need? I need a super weapon as well. But C9, please don't do this to me. Jeromo's got his own super weapon. Just go in, take him out, and make this not last an absolute hour of time. And this could be the final offensive. Those two Yari mini-subs who are basically the bravest guys ever, they're like, hey, we're going up against like a dozen Naginatana cruisers. They're way more powerful, way more technically advanced, and that's probably more than a dozen. I'm probably grossly underestimated how many they actually were, but somehow they are going to be slipping by. And yeah, at this point, C9 is just kind of toying with Jeromo, just taking out expansions here and there. Not going for the killing blow because he really does want to just wait for the time on his psionic decimator. And although the Naginatanas are actually going to be moving in here, so maybe I have misread C9. Maybe C9 is not going to be doing what I thought he was doing, which would make me a very happy fellow. However, a couple of Chopper VXs. Yes, transform your Chopper VXs when you have literally a million Tengus. And I did count. There was a million Tengus there, and that's why I can say literally and actually be truthful when I say C9 has a million Tengus, as the graphs at the end will reveal. However, Naginatanas, just hit F. Select all the Naginatanas and hit F, C9. Do it. I want to see that fantastical amount of torpedoes heading out for these Naginatanas. And C9, he's just camping his other army, just chilling right offshore, waiting for the Naginatanas to do some of the work. Please, C9, just hit F. Just do it. Select all of these guys so that we can see some fireworks a little bit. Even throwing down Emperor's Rage, as if all of this stuff wasn't enough. He was like, yeah, we need some Emperor's Rage in this as well. And oh, the lag, it is just not good, and graphical bugs showing up for absolutely no reason. Just waiting. All of these particle effects, and with the water, this is just not good. My laptop will probably catch on fire in just a few moments. And there we go. But C9, you have failed me a little bit just because you didn't do the mass Naginatana stuff. And oh no, the Sea Wings out of Jeromo may actually be able to make a comeback and kill like 2 units before getting cleaned out by the literal million Tengus that we talked about a little bit earlier. And oh no, the micro is just too good. Jeromo going to be able to win with his 4. And no, mass Tengu transforms right on top of those Sea Wings, and it does look like C9 is going to be going in for the kill. And right there, we saw a little bit of fireworks, although it wasn't quite as good as I was hoping. And now, Jeromo, will he be a well-mannered gentleman and simply sell off his last few remaining buildings, or will he make C9 hunt him across the map? Although this map is really, it's not as bad as it is in like a 1v1 or something where you can hide a single thing up there and you don't have so many ore nodes to build this many units. And this is what it comes down to, a single power plant, as it usually does. And now, oh, C9, no! C9, please spot this power plant. Yes, he does indeed. And he's not, look at that. What a gentleman C9 is, not waiting for his psionic decimator to count down. That will do it. Yes, Jeromo has been defeated. C9 going to be the victor of this FFA. And yeah, that is pretty awesome for C9 through mass Tengu, because, oh goodness, that's not bugged at all. As you can probably tell, let's take a quick look at the resource graph. As we all know, this is of utmost importance. Let's do that. Utmost important in this game, because hey, generally FFAs, whoever's got the most money is actually the one who wins, and it was 23 minutes long, which is ridiculously short. Gotta hand it to these guys, a big thanks to them for keeping it under 30 minutes. That's just absolutely phenomenal. I know that they planned it out to be a 23-minute game. However, that will do it for this video. This is Sybert signing out.